Work though. I'm a workaholic.
Yeah, like because coding's easy. It's a
Easy.
You, might,
Well,
you know what I mean.
He's a journalist.
There's a structure. There's a rules. There's a set of rules to it. You follow those rules and it's fine.
Oh, it's easy. Okay, cool. Let's start. Welcome to News Game Plus. I'm Dermie, and I'm your New Game Plus executive producer and future coder.
Yes, it's easy.
It's easy. It's easy, apparently. Well, tell you what. How are you feeling living in real life? Tom Clancy's The Division?
I know, right?
I went to Coles today, and I legit need toilet paper. I mean,
do you want to borrow some?
Well, I was going to say I'm in deep shit.
Well, that is the problem. Yeah.
It is bizarre. You walk in and whole rows of shelves. I don't know if it's like where you live, but well,
it's pretty bad at Forest Hill. It's not too bad though. Like as long as you're not looking for like specific things, as long as you're willing to compromise,
like pasta.
we were full of pasta sauce, we had a bit of meat, we had a bit of random stuff. You know what I mean? So. We're not too bad, but like a lot of the others are just gone.
It's ridiculous.
I've
never seen you walk into the shop and there's no stuff. It's bizarre.
Yeah.
So look, it's being level 30 in Division 1 and Division 2, I reckon I'm ready. So I'll go looting.
Well, like it's funny. I literally I don't know if I should admit this on thing being a lefty. But no, I won't actually. I'll save it. I'm going to get in trouble.
Well, if you're to the right politically, you'd be making communism jokes.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
This is
well, I mean, look,
like
I'll say that. Yeah, it's like, look at Venezuela with their empty shelves.
That's
fucking clown world. Like,
yeah, we see clown world. So yes. Anyway, this video up here is distracting me. Let me just. Treat that a little bit. Cool. All right, cool. Well, anyway, let's get on to some game news. We'll maybe talk about that a little bit more later because there are, even though the social media networks have been trying to desperately get rid of any news about coronavirus and trying to silence it, the fact is it's a big deal now.
Yeah, it is.
And they've been pretending for a while that it wasn't, and they've been trying to keep it quiet. And I remember when I commented on it back in January on Twitter, and I got savagely attacked by some people.
Yeah.
Well, now look at it.
Yeah.
0 to 100 very quickly.
Because people are dumb. Like the world isn't ending, and the only thing that's going to cause pure, real, long-term devastation and destruction is our response to it. And our response has been lacking, and that is what's going to fuck us. Like we've worried more. If you're a $50 million company, you can claim $150,000 right now to make sure that people are getting paid.
Yeah,
you're a $50 million company.
Yeah.
But if you're a sole trader or a small business or a freelancer or a contractor, you can get fucked.
Well, I'm a proprietary limited company.
Yeah.
And, mind you, look, it is good because, like, as I said at the start, I've been really busy because everybody's suddenly really interested in their website. All right, let's do some gaming news. Now, let's see. Xbox Series X. Now, I'm not going to go through the hardware specs because a little bit about Sony stuff coming up soon about their specs.
Yeah, Mark Sony's thing is as we record this.
I think it'll be very soon, and if you're listening to it, it's probably already been on. But see, now one of the things they did say I liked was they said HDR, which is extra colors, brightness, contrast, stuff like that. Basically makes it
high dynamic range.
That's it. I was trying to remember it.
I was waiting to see if you knew your buzzword.
I'm not wearing my glasses, so I'm struggling with my notes I wrote. Basically, it adds that to backward compatible.
Yes.
Now, the reason I bring that up is because Microsoft have done really well with the backward compatibility so far. It's actually, I reckon, it's gold standard how they've done it.
The way they engineered that is just top tier.
And now that, I mean, it is sort of on PC, people expect.
Yes.
If you're emulating an old console, you get...
Yeah, well, I mean, look at Dolphin, you know what I mean? Dolphin alone is
for your Nintendo 64
for
stuff in
well,
it?
yeah, for GameCube.
GameCube,
yeah, so GameCube it has full aspect ratio 1080p because all they do is use the existing renders and pop them out, but because Nintendo's art styles work for that, they can just blow out to at least 720 without fucking up. So yeah.
Well, it's and it's normally something that the community does.
Jesus Christ!
It's always something the community does. But it is something, and not normally something that companies do.
Yes.
Companies normally, when they do backward compatibility, it's like, let's be honest, half-assed.
Yes.
But Microsoft now are starting to be like an actual community when they do it, and it sounds weird, but they're doing they're adding extras to old games when they're being emulated on
Well,
their console.
again, like State of Decay, they have supported that game for 2 straight years, and they've added interesting and unique things. I'll get something for you to say. I've got anything handy. They've added interesting, unique features. They've continued to support it, and it's going to go 3 generations technically. You know what I mean? Like that's cool. Like that's real cool.
Well, I mean, one of the things people say that really annoys me is this console generation stuff, because it was always kind of garbage, but it's definitely is garbage now. So look, point is, I really like how Microsoft, with their backward compatibility, which is already really, really good, are now just adding stuff to old games to make it better. And that's the sort of thing that companies traditionally haven't done. But
I would say Sega tried that more than anybody, as far as like if anyone ever really tried to expand their
we're doing back in the 32X
days. You know what I mean? Like we are like 100%. Like they were. Again, a lot of what Microsoft is doing now, I would swear, is Microsoft has taken their handbook and gone, you know what was a good company? Sega. They were a good company, and then they just do that.
Okay, you're aware of the rumour.
But Peter Moore, I'm aware.
That originally the Microsoft and Sega were going to join.
Yeah.
And then at the last minute, they screwed Sega.
Yes, Peter Moore. That's the joke.
It's a joke. Well, it is a joke.
Yeah, but that is the long term meme about Peter Moore.
Okay, cool. Well, there you go. It's Peter Moore. Didn't he go to EA?
He went from he was, but he was Sega at Dreamcast, Microsoft, EA.
Okay, cool. Well, it got worse as he went along. So, all right. Anyway, good work by Microsoft. Keep it up. All right.
Marvin's got a question. Will either console be 8K? To my understanding, with the thing they've released, they guarantee 4K, I think. No, they're not. They guarantee 120 hertz because they're prioritizing that over thing. But I know some games will play 4K. 8K, no, not yet. There's no word on whether that means.
Now, Marvin asked, won't talk about COD, Call of Duty.
Yes.
We did last week. And now Call of Duty, I'll recap that, as that new
Warzone.
Battle Royale game. Now I've downloaded it, haven't played it yet. I got to a point where I needed to set up an account. I couldn't be bothered.
You can cross-play it fully. You can literally any console. You can cross-play on PC.
Now you can cross-play with PC. So basically, that means you can die.
Yes.
So good luck.
Two of the guys at the moment, like one of my housemates and one of the other guys, is playing with one of their mates who's on console. And yes, it's very much a case of you are carrying the person on console. You give them a shotgun, you hope for the best.
So I said they tried that originally with Gears of War 4. They played console gamers against PC gamers. Console gamers didn't get a kill.
Yeah, because how could they? Like, yeah. I've always said, like, if I was going to take out first person shooters properly, you know, there's the little keypad keyboards with like just enough for like 8 keys in front of your fingers and then like a little stick on the side. It's like a Razer one. That's what I get, because the mouse you can't be beat for aiming, but I still prefer moving with my thumb. You know what I mean? Like I hate moving with keys. It doesn't work for my hands. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
Well, there you go, Marvin. Call of Duty. I haven't played it. You have?
It's free to play. I haven't played it. It's got some cool concepts. Like one of the cool things it does.
The trailer looks good.
Well, you know how battle royales go, right? Like, you know, you drop down from space.
Well, I saw that.
Kids, you've seen Fortnite.
Well, no, actually, you know, my kids are good. They don't play Fortnite.
Yeah, right.
So,
well, anyway, so you drop out of space.
They're good children.
You fight X amount of people. You then move on to this, like the area gets smaller until you get to 1, and then whoever wins, right? In Call of Duty, if you die, you get sent to this gulag, and you 1v1 someone to get out of the gulag. And so you can pick up rocks and throw rocks at each other and like beat them to death.
Oh, cool!
And if you win, you get resurrected. So that's like a cool little
like
it encourages you to actually like stay in a game, or if you got friends who are like doing a thing, it actually works on an esports level. Do you know what I mean? Like you might be the tank because you're good at the 1v1s, so you'll take the bullets. So then you know you're going to die, but then your friends will get the kills. But then you can resurrect, and they can come get you and give you your gear back.
Well, I like that because I like if I play a game like that, I like being a tank.
Yeah.
So I'm old.
There's lots of cool little things that matter to it. It's unlimited parachutes. As people are dropping out of the sky, they can get rid of their parachute, start shooting people, pull their parachute back out. So like it's unlimited shoots. So you can just keep doing that. So there's like cool little things that it's done. To be fair to them, like they've done a good job of making it, and some of the rules are pretty good. It's just a few things that people can exploit, but it's actually reasonably good. So.
Well, it'll be a better game than Fortnite.
Yeah.
I can guarantee that. So, Fortnite's garbage. Anyway.
Fair enough.
Oh, no. I played it. When it first came out, I played it a lot. I wanted to see, because people were talking about it, I wanted to see what it was like. I think I got up to 5th or something,
That's
which
not
is
bad for an
not
old
bad.
man,
Yeah. Basically, I was in a game where everyone was just jumping around like Mexican jumping beans. People jumping everywhere, and I hate that because I can't aim at it.
Yeah.
And I played a few games, and it did seem how well you went was basically mostly relying on how much you avoided people.
Yes.
Like coronavirus.
Yeah.
Like it's self
Social isolation. That's why I'm sitting over here.
And then wait for
1 meter in between.
I guarantee getting the top 40 or 30 just by running off and hiding. So, yeah, well, everyone else kills each other. So look, to me, it just seemed like a nonsensical game, but everyone loves it. So there you go. Well, not everyone. A certain age group loves it.
Certain demographic.
Certain demographic. Anyway, next one I had was Lego Mario.
Yes.
Now, Lego Mario is not a well, it's not a game.
No, it's actually
How would you describe it? It's a Lego set, but you make like a Mario level, so you make it in a row. So you don't make it like a Lego, the Minecraft Lego. You make a Minecraft house, and it all opens up, and that's pretty cool. We got that at home. You make like a long Mario level, and then you play as this little Mario thing. It looks like a supersized Lego pig. You probably know more about this, and piece. And basically, you play it kind of like a board game, from what I can tell. Do you know any more?
I've only seen the videos, like the occasional video of it and stuff. So I don't. I don't really care because I'm not the demographic to care, but like,
Well, look, credit to Nintendo because they do this good. Nintendo's not afraid to try stuff. Probably helps they've got so much money.
They got more money than God. It's funny because
I was about to say exactly that.
The joke at the moment is that Apple's got enough money to purchase Disney. Now, I would actually love that. I think that would be, like, to me, very funny because I fucking hate Disney so much that I would be rather Apple being in charge of Disney. That's how much I hate Disney. Right? Because to me, that's the Pixar boys coming back around and getting their revenge.
Oh, gee, next I hope they purchase Electronic Arts after that.
Yeah, look, for my money, I mean, they should all be broken up. Disney,
the awesome
there's no way Disney should have been allowed to do it because, like, it's like, but they're only entertainment, but except that they control the news media and they control ESPN and they control NBC.
Yeah, well, only 6 companies control all that media, which is pretty obvious at times. But anyway,
But so from my point of view, Nintendo can do whatever the hell they want. I mean, it's got to be annoying for them because obviously they were just about to launch the Nintendo World expansion at USJ, as in Universal Studios Japan, and they had to push that back because of coronavirus. So,
everything's got pushed back for that. So Lego Mario looks like it's going to be a young kid thing. There'll probably be some oldies by it, just out of curiosity. But it's not Lego. It's not a game. It's Mario. It's not anything. It's really weird. It's a bit like when you first see Labo and you go, what's Nintendo's business doing cardboard cutout stuff? But they try things. They got so much money. They might as well. At least somebody's inventive.
Yes.
Because while I talked earlier about Microsoft doing their specs, and I was going to get to Sony soon. As usual, Microsoft and Sony are playing spec wars.
Yeah.
And they'll try and differentiate by their exclusives. They have an awesome rumor coming up about that. Nintendo is just going, we'll just play our own game. And I respect that. I like it.
Nintendo, after Animal Crossing comes out, Nintendo do not have a date on any of their big titles. There is no AAA Nintendo title that has a date.
They don't have to, because from 3 o'clock on Friday afternoon, the whole world's going to be playing Animal Crossing.
Yes.
They're going to be locked away. They're going to self-isolate, whether it's coronavirus or not.
Yeah, correct. Everyone's going to each other's islands. Like, hey, you been? I'm on your island.
Basically, the Nintendo is about to they should have held off on all the government announcements because Nintendo was going to do the hard work. Just wait. As of 3, they don't have to release anything for 6 months.
Yep.
They'll just get back in the Christmas rush. By then, we might be going.
We're all in Christmas rush at the moment. My work's put on hours. Like, it's crazy.
Might be wandering outside, close to Christmas, seeing sunlight for the first time.
Yeah.
All right, next one. What have we got? Okay, now, I'll park this one. I'll go to the PS5. So, maybe even now, but definitely by the time I get this onto YouTube and Spotify and that, there will have been a PS5 architecture deep dive, an online sort of, what do we call it? Online conferencing, whatever announcement, which is going to go through basically the PS5 technical abilities.
Now, this is 100% because Xbox released their specs. This is 100% because Microsoft have been proactive this gen. Last gen, when House and all the big boys were in charge, Leighton and all that, they actually got shit done. They sold their message. They sold it all off. Microsoft flubbed so hard. This time, Microsoft, they got
I
Phil
missed
Spencer.
on Metric.
I don't.
Let's talk about him after this.
Phil Spencer's like there for the long haul. He's hired a good team under him. They're shitting themselves. Like, they have to be shitting themselves. Because
Sony.
yeah, the only thing that's going to keep them in the game is the fact that they have the carryover momentum, and I think they'll find that'll run out very quickly.
Or something else, but I'll get to that in a moment.
Right.
Coming up. Okay, cool. I'll leave the other announcement for you. Let's go. There's a rumor.
All right, go on.
I got a rumor for you.
Yeah.
Sony is trying to buy Castlevania, Metal Gear Solid, and Silent Hill IPs from Konami, and Kojima is involved.
So I wouldn't be surprised at all because they've just announced they're redoing Silent Hills. Now, if they did Silent Hills with anyone but Kojima, you could fucking forget it. No one would play it. No one would fucking touch it, right?
Yep.
Konami will part with them, but they'll want $400 million minimum for those IPs alone. They'll want and they'll get it.
If you were about to launch a console and you were shitting yourself, and basically now it comes down to if you're going to have who's got a bit of hardware, blah 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 blah. Then if you were
you're going to lose that fight well and truly.
If you were after some IPs which are solid in the Sony fan base, and which have a Sony history, and if you wanted to lock them away, that would be a good move.
That would that would be the only thing I could see. Like I could see it happening. Who was if they said who the source was, who leaked it first? Oh wow, one of those. Okay.
Oh no, okay. The source starts with a number.
Oh wow.
But look, I'm just saying it's a rumor, but it's one of those rumors that you go, I could see if Sony can't afford to go into this console gen
the way it is at the moment,
and without backward compatibility, which they probably won't have. Let's be honest, I don't think they're going to have
PS3 is so impossible to do. Like it would require much better engineers than they have, and they just don't have the chops for it. So it's better to just ignore it. And the best way they could do it, if they bought Metal Gear Solid, they could remake 4, and that would be what I would suggest they would have done. They would do full. I reckon if they were going to do it because they've got 2 and 3 have the remakes that are reasonably good quality. You get 1, you get Twin Snakes ported over. You get, or you make a new version of it. You get 4, make a new version of it. You redo 5 as director's edition. Give Kojima $1 billion to do that, and you'll get $3 billion back. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. I don't think it's a bad investment.
I think it's the only thing they can do, and I think if the rumor is true, it'll work.
And so you deign not to say the number, but let's be real. 4chan leaks are about as good as fucking anything else on the planet. As much as I hate 4chan, for leaks on video games, just if you do the sniff test on any leak, you'll pick up the bad ones. But all the ones that I've looked at, even which have come out and I've gone, this sounds legit.
Yep.
It turned out it was a 4chan leak.
Look, I get bagged by some of my friends. Big hello to Joel for reading 4chan at any point. 4chan is mostly full of larpers. Let's be honest, it's full of larpers everywhere. A lot of people larping as FBI agents, larping as randoms. Yeah. That's always and ons. That's always been my thing. I sometimes, if it's good entertainment, there's some fantastic fan fiction there. If you want fan fiction, QAnon and BD Anon. BD Anon's the new one.
Yeah, right.
Big Dick Anon. He's
of course it is.
All the QAnon people, they're missing out. BD Anon's he's good. He's talking about special directed energy weapons in Iran and stuff. And he's
my only one that I was
make a movie out of
they
this stuff.
They just released coronavirus in Iran. That's what they did.
No, he talks about that a lot. He's big into that. So, but it's one of those ones where the LARPers have a little bit of stuff they accidentally get right.
Yes.
Sometimes they get some credibility. I love reading them, but mind you, aside from big hello to Joel, this is serious. I don't believe them.
Yeah.
But they are entertaining. But what I would say is that yes, there is the occasional thing that pops up there that does seem real, and there have been things that do. It is the only place you can put something and be anonymous.
Yes.
So you
where that culture of anonymity and I guess lack of accountability works in the favor of a game leak. Do you know what I mean? Like, because you don't get much out of trolling people when you can't take the credit for it. If you troll people and say, "Oh, here's this leak I've got," and you've got something that people can track to, there's more to it than that. Whereas if you're anonymous, it's like,
if you leak a Nintendo one, they can track it back to your deep shit.
Just ask every.
Well, Apple's always been like that. Apple will go you if you're leaking anything about an iPhone. But
yeah. So I think if that is true, it's the smartest move they've made in a long, long fucking time. Even if it cost them $500 million, I think it's worth it. I think for what they could do with those franchises, if you gave Konami back to someone who believed in it, now Kojima still needs someone to say to him, "All right, that's enough, Hideo. Like, that's it. He's
like George Lucas. He's brilliant, but he needs
He needs
somebody
good editor,
else.
yeah.
He can't be fully in control.
Yes.
He needs somebody to say, no, that's dumb.
Yeah, yeah. Or can you wind that back a bit? Like,
Yeah.
Here's where that sentence needed to end, and you've let it go for too long. Like, and that was always the thrill of, like, you know, even 2 and 3 is like, it was verbose, and even 4, it was verbose, and it was overwrought and all that. But there was just enough restraint there, and I say that in the game with a 45-minute cutscene. There was enough restraint there that it still was cohesive, and
It's in the Guinness Book of World Records, something like that.
Um,
That's amusing.
Whereas 5 was like literally too big to, like, he needed another 18 months. Konami said, we want the money now. He said, well, it's not going to happen. So they said, cool, well, you're fired. We're just going to get you to repeat the last 5 missions.
Well, something to get Sony fanboys excited.
Yeah.
Just imagine they turn up to announce the PS5, Kojima's there,
Yeah.
and they say Silent Hill, the next Metal Gear, and the next Castlevania, plus possibly the previous ones,
Yeah.
are all going to be PS5 exclusives.
Yeah.
Sony's not as dead as well.
But this goes back to my original argument. So many of the dude bros switched over to PlayStation, right? For whatever reason, right? They switched over to PlayStation, and they were like, cool, we play PlayStation now. If you're a weeb, it was always justifiable to buy a PS4. It was always justifiable to buy a PlayStation if you're a weeb. And I've said that since day dot. As much as I never like the PS4 or the control or anything like that, if you're a weeb, you have to buy it. Do you know what I mean? Like, because Microsoft just does not service that market. Nintendo service the hentai crowd now. So, you know what I mean? Like, if you have a Switch, that's your valuable, like, offshoot. But that, to me, would be, again, it's a Chan rumor, whatever. But I think, genuinely, if that's true, it's about the smartest move they've made in about a year.
If I was Sony and I read that, I'd go, I might just get on the phone to Kojima.
Yeah. Because I think Konami wants out. I think Konami wants fully out, as far out as they can get. They don't want to make games anymore. They make too much money from health clubs. They make too much money from all the other shit that they do. They don't want to be in it anymore. So if they sold their swath of IP to anyone else who could do something with it. Like, if I was Capcom, I'd be throwing my hat into some of those rings. Do you know what I mean? Like, Capcom do very good games with other people's IPs. The Capcom Zelda games are some of the best. You know what I mean? Like, they do a great job with other people.
Really
Marvel vs. Capcom is still a great crossover series.
Okay, yeah.
Even if they fucked up the last one because of Marvel. But I wouldn't want to trust Disney again after that. So, moral story is, I agree. I think it would be one of the smarter moves they can make.
Yeah. Well, I've got another rumor. It's not quite as good. It's probably predictable. CD Projekt Red will apparently be developing another single-player game for Cyberpunk 2077, and it's probably going to be another Witcher.
Yes, but it's not going to be a Geralt Witcher necessarily. That was the point they kind of like caged around a little bit.
Okay.
Like, that it's not going to necessarily be a Geralt game. It's going to be in the Witcher universe. And I think that would be good. I think if you could make a game in the Witcher universe that wasn't necessarily Geralt, you could do it. You just, like, make it a Siri game. You know what I mean? Like,
well, you know, I'm going to mention. No, I won't mention. Let's the game that shall not be named, because we're going to have a ban of it on our podcast. But this is
the conversation about Last of Us.
Games can get obsessed with the characters,
Yes.
can't they? So if you say it's about the character, and you've said this, and I've said this about the TV adaptation of the game that shall not be named, is yes, there's universes there, but people get obsessed, and developers and publishers get obsessed with the character.
Yeah.
Yet they make these amazing worlds that have so much.
Shout outs to Goku. Like, that's 100% the Dragon Ball stuff. That's the Dragon Ball issue. Yeah. They were so obsessed with keeping Goku as, like, the main, and they basically spend most of Dragon Ball Z setting up Gohan as his, like, successor. His son's going to take over. His son has, the best of Saiyan blood mixed with learning this, and then in the end of it, it's all just Goku.
It's limited thinking, because if you've got this giant big world of because sometimes they're just games, and sometimes movies can hit on fantastic, like, concepts, just places, and yes, there's so much to explore. You know what? I was ranting a few podcasts ago about The Expanse and how much I love it. Yeah. They got obsessed with Holden, the main character, there, as if he's godlike, and you go, no, there's so much here. We can leave. Well, why do we stick with the character? Is it just a lack of?
No, it's scared. They're scared, and I think a lot of the times it's nearly always fan reactions. If you find that there's a franchise that gets hooked on a character as, like, a thing, it's a fan reaction. They're worried about upsetting the people who watch it. Like Mass Effect, like all those games that get hooked on a character, it's usually because they're worried that fans won't appreciate it. Like Kratos, I think the thing that God of War did really well was it introduced a world around Kratos. And yes, Kratos was going through all these things, but he had all these characters like you were dealing with. Now that they've brought him back at the end, it had to be him. And I think from God of War Reboot 2 or Reboot 3, you can make it Atreyu. You can make, what's the kid's name? Not Atreyu, that's the fucking horse in Neverending Story. whatever,
No,
whatever
no.
the kid's name is, right? Because Atreus from Neverending Story.
Oh,
Doesn't matter.
kid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
boy,
Son.
boy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
like
know.
you could make it
Yeah.
his game from that point onwards because he's got that. Yeah, he could easily like basically you just give him the chains of torment and he carries his father's sins. Done. There's your story angle. Do you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they could do that easily. So if you get to the second or third one and Kratos isn't dead, they fucked it up. They fucked up real bad.
You know one where they did well? I know it's not games, but Mandalorian.
Yeah.
It was incredibly popular, but it was not actually about Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Not actually about Yoda. It's his characters.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, but everyone just flocked to it.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
everyone just went, I mean,
But it's a
well,
good
especially the ladies
well,
with Baby Yoda.
Chicky nuggies.
Chalky Milky.
Every time he comes through, you just hear over his pop, like in your vicinity.
He hasn't eaten a single chicken nugget in the entire series.
He eats a frog anyway. But like exactly that. I think that to me is a perfect example of a spin-off, quote unquote, just being a good EU
Well, it's
story.
going to become the main.
Yeah,
mean,
I agree. I agree.
it's-
I would watch a Mandalorian movie over a fucking. I wouldn't even watch a movie actually.
I mean, it's like
Short form TV is the new movie. Fuck movies.
Yeah, streaming.
Yeah.
Streaming's basically a 10-hour movie,
Yeah.
right? And they can tell it at a pace.
Yes.
Like and Mandalorian's a very slow pace.
Yeah.
It's almost
It's a
Firefly
slow,
sort
yeah.
of pace. It's very slow.
Well, it's
right?
very Firefly.
Except
like
for the
it's-
movie. But
Yeah.
then the series was slow paced. Mandalorian slow paced. But you can do it, 10-hour movie.
Yeah.
Umbrella Academy was a 10-hour movie.
Yeah, agreed.
Uh,
And I think TV used to kind of be looked down on. You went from movies to TV, and that was the kind of the degradation. But I think more than anything else, it's become the better storytelling. No one's pushing for 22 eps anymore. Everyone's finding that sweet spot of 12 eps, 5 seasons.
You
That's
can do
what
it.
you
You
get.
can do it in a day.
Yep.
You can just go nuts.
Yep.
Witcher was a similar thing. Witcher was like a long movie.
Yep. Yep.
Really, really long movie. But then if you try and do things like a Game of Thrones and do it over several years, it loses its way. Before you know it, it's
Because
close to
I think that's one thing the BBC, because they make a lot of series for Netflix, has taught Netflix that miniseries work. Miniseries can be better than a movie. They can be better than a full series. But then again, BBC TV series are usually 6 episodes, and I would argue sometimes they're just a little too short. Sometimes sometimes one more episode would have been just enough to flesh out an idea. You
the
know
best
what
comedy ever made, Faulty Towers.
I mean? Yeah. Well, I don't
Well,
know about that.
look, it's great.
It's only 13 episodes of 2 seasons.
I know you can't hit immigrants over the head anymore, right?
Yeah.
But other than that, Faulty Towers is hilarious.
I mean,
But Faulty Towers, that was only 11 episodes.
That's some boomer shit though, like straight up boomer. Is it 11 or 13?
Well, something like that. It was
Yeah,
hardly any,
6
right?
and 6.
For,
Yeah, like 6
it
and
was,
7. Yeah.
So yeah, BBC's always done
Yeah.
a few. But anyway,
Well, no, Blackadder's the same. Blackadder's got 4 seasons in a movie.
He eats Baldrick a lot.
Yeah, but doesn't matter.
He's all UK stuff about assault.
Just ask Jimmy Savile. Are we picking on the BBC or not? Let's go in. Let's make sure we never get a thing from them ever again.
They get it. Yeah, next.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to say.
Yeah, no, I don't know. Did I? Yeah.
Okay, let's go on to the next gaming news.
Sure.
So let's see, what do we got? Okay, well, yours coming out for PC and Switch.
Exit the Gungeon. So it was on Apple Arcade as an exclusive when they launched Apple Arcade, and Apple Arcade is garbage, so don't bother. Sayonara Hearts and Exit the Gungeon were probably the 2 of the better games from the launch of the thing. Exit the Gungeon is basically the end of the Gungeon is that you kill the past. So the idea of the gun Enter the Gungeon was you have to find the gun that kills the past, and you shoot your past, you kill your past, you go back, you fix the problem, and therefore you think.
I don't finish it, it's too hard.
But it's very hard. So once you're done,
Especially on the Switch when you got to play like with stupid thumb down on one side.
no comment.
It's crampy.
No
Freaking
comment.
Nintendo, make a
Yeah.
Joy-Con with the right thumbstick at the top.
Even
please,
call it a Pro
please.
Joy-Con. Call it
I
Pro
don't-
Joy-Con or like FPS Joy-Con or some shit like that.
I'm not taking him off to play Mario Kart with my
Yeah.
friends. I want that right thumbstick at the top.
Yeah.
It is stopping me playing so many games. Even
Yeah.
Spyro is a pain. It cramps after the while when you're trying to have your
Yeah.
thumb down low, and it's not right. Nintendo,
Yeah, it's not right.
Joy-
It's not right.
Right. Yeah, it's not right. Nintendo make an alt-right
Yeah.
Joy-Con with a thumbstick at the top.
Anyway,
Ixnay on that.
the views expressed by Gerard McDermott. Yeah. But yeah, no, and so basically this is because the purpose of the Gungeon has been finalized. The Gungeon collapses and you have to escape it. So it's like basically a similar concept, except it's like a rising elevator, rising set of ladders, rising all that kind of stuff. Great fun. I love the first one. I'll play the second one a bunch as well.
Are you addicted to that?
I have it on every platform it's available on, except for, is it on iPhone now? No, it's not.
I think I've got it on PC, Switch, but that was only because it was like $5.
I got it on Switch, Boner, PS4,
yeah.
PC, and I played on all of them. Like I've played about 100 hours on, not 100 hours, probably about 50 hours on each one, and about 100 hours on Switch.
I play with the boy every so often he wants to do it. It's just fun mucking around, but I'm not allowed to take his weapons and stuff. But anyway, that's how it works these days. I am the assist.
You're the sidekick. You're the cultist. Yeah,
I'm the healer. So in games, I'm not the main anymore. So there's only a few years ago I was the main in our house, and, and the kids there was a time I'd give them the unplugged controller sort of thing. But nowadays I'm the one that the boy hands the controller with no batteries.
To be fair, when I'm playing Plants vs Zombies with you, when your son picks the All Star, I do kind of fall in line and jump on healer. Normally I don't, but I'm like, he's pretty good with the All Star.
He's very good at that game.
Yeah.
Well, he's got the Wizard now.
Yeah, Wizard's so fucking broken. Jesus Christ.
That's what he says. He can't believe he has it broken down. It's not actually broken. They mean it like anyway.
Yeah, no, but it's deliberately broken. It's the same thing.
There you go, Campbell. Jason's just saying the same thing.
Like, because I was playing a bunch of it the other night with Proc, and because he goes into people and he does like the tether
you
thing.
messaged me at 12 in the morning. Yeah, you feel like a game. I mean, it was up.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
I was working.
We sent you an invite as well. You and the kids' account. Yeah.
No, the boy was in bed there because he would have played if anyway.
But PVC, play that. It's a very good game.
Battle for Neighborville is cool. Yeah.
So play Exit the Gungeon too. Very good game.
Cool. All right. Okay. Now
I think your only one is that, isn't it?
Well, I want to do a longer talk of that because. Look, let's be serious about it. The coronavirus is it's not normal right now. We haven't seen anything like this ever, and it actually is.
I wouldn't say we haven't seen. We personally haven't seen anything like this ever, but Spanish flu was a similar thing.
Well, yeah, I wasn't quite alive in 19.
I think it was only like a couple years before, wasn't it?
Yeah,
like
I just missed out. I was young, so and there was no internet, so we
didn't
have any videos.
Yeah, you couldn't put up Twitter.
Nothing on Live Leak about it, what I was going to say is, as much as for gamers, I'm a nerd, right? I'm a programmer. I'm a nerd. To me, this is normal, like staying away from people and staying inside just on my computer. So I've finally got an excuse. But the coronavirus right now, the Devolver, Microsoft, Ubisoft, and probably some others are now going to basically do Nintendo Directs for E3. They're going to have conferences.
Well, Devolver already did that. They had the live thing with Nina, which was still the best thing about E3 for the last 2 years, sorry.
Yeah. So. Well, we'll see, because none of them are going. So I thought let's actually have a quick one of just quickly what the ramifications are and what should people get onto, since we've got to self-isolate, got to stay inside. Games is a really good thing to do.
If you're going to do a
rush, what do we recommend?
If you're going to do a rush on anything, Nintendo Switches are about to hit short supply. My Xboxes and PS4s will be fine. There's still enough in them, and the sales of those have dropped off a cliff. They're not going to sell out anytime soon.
So Xbox and PS4, you're not going to have trouble getting
you can get an Xbox
Don't sue us if we
wrong. Microsoft were doing, when the coronavirus hit about a week ago, they were doing Xbox One X's for $350.
Oh, that came with a controller too, didn't it?
Oh my god!
I bought one for $450, no controller, in the Black Friday thing or whatever. I thought that was a bargain.
$350 is pretty fucking good. Anyway, that'll be fine. It's the Switch. Japan's had shortages for the last month or two. Because they're usually the ones that get them first out of the factories in China. NA, EU, Australia are the ones that are starting to feel it now. So we'll start to see shortages coming through, I'd say, in the next month or so. So if you see a cheap second handy, pick it up. If you see a cheap or a good deal and thing, I know JB are doing $280 or something on them or something like that.
Are we on a Switch at the moment?
Yeah, on a Switch Lite.
But still, get a Switch. Get a Switch and get Animal Crossing. Like Animal Crossing comes out at 3 o'clock on Friday.
Yeah, and so there's that. So basically, it goes that Doom is the same day. April 30th is Resident Evil 3. April 10th is Final Fantasy. Like, there's a bunch of good games coming out.
And if you've got an Xbox, get Game Pass now. Can you still get it for $1?
So what you do is you go down to your local wherever, buy 2 cards of Xbox Live Gold for 12 months. So you get 2 of them. So you can get 3 if you want, doesn't matter. So you get 3 of them, 2 of them, however many you can afford. Get that, and then after you pay that $150 or whatever, for $1 more, you can convert that time into Game Pass. So you put the codes in for the Xbox Live Gold, put it into your account, Then after that, you activate the gold trial, which will convert any time you have an Xbox Live Gold for $1. And yeah, I got 26 months of gold, 26 months of Game Pass that way. Game Pass Ultimate, by the way.
Do it that way because I did it the normal way and I only got 3 months.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's still 3 months is good. It's only $15. Game Pass will give you a lot of games to play, and they're good games too. There's some really good stuff in there.
And like cool. a lot
Which
of
is one of them, isn't it?
Which is one of them.
So
Mutant Year Zero was fucking great. I love Mutant Year Zero. There's a bunch of great games that I've played. Remnant from the Ashes. Oh my god! Like, had I known that game existed last year, it would have nearly factored into my top 10. I fucking loved it. I loved it. And so, but it just such a. It came out a perfect world. So no one talks about perfect world anymore. It's all Tencent. So like, it was like the Chinese publisher made the game with like a local developer. They sold it to Game Pass. I think it was on Unreal as well, like Epic Store. And no one played it, and it was always one of those games that I'd heard like a little bit about here and there, and I'm like, hey, whatever. And I played it, I'm like, this is loot shoot Dark Souls. And so it does all these obvious things, and yet it maintains like my interest. I turn it on when I'm bored. I want to play an hour or two of just a game where I shoot shit. What
was the game?
Remnant from the Ashes.
Remnant from the Ashes. Cool.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Yeah, so that's
on Game Pass. Game Pass. Right?
Sea of Salt is a tactical RPS. So you control you're a Cthulhian god, and someone's promised you their souls for your sacrifice, and then they back out of it. It's like a priest. He's like, I'll give you. So you pick up 5 names, and they give you the 4, and the priest goes, but why me? I've been good. It's like, no, you're who we want. Like, you're the sacrifice, and he fights you. So you have to make small armies of like different Cthulhian horrors, and you like kill people with like waves and stuff like that. So it's like, it's pretty good.
Is it a shooting game?
No, it's like a top-down strategy game with like lots of little things, so lots of little minions and shit.
Like XCOM style?
No, the opposite. So like,
opposite.
Then like you just have like a swarm, and you run the swarm over all these people and like kill them, and like different enemies will have different ways to counteract. Like some will have shotguns, and some will have like fire, or whatever the case may be. And so yeah, so sometimes you have to send like really hardy units, ones that aren't going to die straight away into the thing. So it's about picking the right units. It's a great game. So much good shit on Game Pass, and then there's so much good shit that I haven't played on my Switch yet. Like I'm playing Rune Factory. Yep. Rune Factory is another good time killer. It's kind of a mix of Monster Rancher and Harvest Moon / Animal Crossing. So it's another one like that.
Yep.
It's a good time to release it. The 2 weeks between Animal Crossing and Rune Factory was a very good time to release Rune Factory because like it scratches a lot of those itches. And then I've just also been playing One Punch Man, which is like a Xenoverse, but for One Punch Man universe, and My Hero Academia 2, which is the same thing for My Hero Academia. So like, if you're a weeb, it's like the fucking time for it.
So that maybe.
Yeah, Bonnie's on it too. Yeah,
she was pretty happy with it. She liked the My Hero. I don't know if I'd sit in a movie cinema now, but there you go.
Very gutsy.
Now, Huss has said, other than the fact that he's been isolating himself for years, same here, saying it's.
Yeah, he's true. Ninja Gaiden Black,
Black
is on Game Pass in Australia.
Yep, cool. So. I only want to play it. All right, now I don't have any recommendations for PS4. But,
Okay, I've been playing Monster Hunter, so yeah.
Get Game Pass.
Monster Hunter and Judgment are still 2 of the best games, so yeah.
And now, if you got streaming stuff on Amazon Prime, I recommend The Expanse. There's 4 seasons of that, which will keep you busy for a while. Picard looks good so far. I've still got a few episodes to go. Slow paced again. Slow paced series. If you're on Netflix,
what have we
Final Space, Umbrella Academy.
Final Space, I will not do.
Watch Final Space and tell Jason how good it is. What else?
Umbrella Academy is good. I've been watching the end of the Fucking World is one of the best shows they've made. And there's a new.
Oh, that's got the kid on it from Black Mirror who had to fight the other guy to death.
Correct.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, and he's great in that. He's great in thing. And then they've got the new one. What is it? No, I'm not enjoying this, or whatever the hell it's called. Like, no, I'm not okay with this. And that's a good show too. Netflix has some good stuff at the moment. I've been catching up.
Really good.
I've also been going back through my list of stuff that I've put on there.
Yep.
And I've just been like trying to bring that down before I start watching any new shows. So I've watched like 6 different shows in the last little bit. Yeah. So.
Get Anime Lab. Main reason.
Yeah, I'll say I was literally just about to say Anime Lab at the moment pumping.
But also, it annoys Sterling Griff and Collective Karen, so do it. Anime Lab could probably use the money for what Sterling Griffin and Collective Karen are going to go soon. So,
luckily Funimation is now backing Anime Lab, so there'll be a little bit of
Sony,
battle chest. It is, a little bit of battle chest. So yeah, But yeah, Collective McGriff the Crime Dog and Collective Karen are coming for him.
Yeah, I haven't heard from them last week, but they won't go away. They're butthurt, and butthurt, as I always say, is the most powerful force in the universe.
100%.
The universe is powered by butthurt. All right, cool. Now that's things to do.
Yes.
So there's a lot to do if you're a gamer. This is happy time. So your parents can say, "What are you doing playing games today?" Well, I'm self-isolating, and I don't want anyone to die. And your parents will have to back off. So just remember that, kids. Play games. Now is your time. You've been preparing for this. Well, we used to say we're preparing for the zombie apocalypse, and it wasn't a zombie apocalypse. It was a stupid virus. It was kind of boring. Would have been more funny for zombies, wouldn't it?
I mean, it'd be some
imagine if the coronavirus made zombies, and it's like, oh man.
I mean, it's still a similar pattern. People are going to work. They've been bitten by the virus and they won't admit it, and then it's too late and they're already infecting other people. So it's quite literally zombie apocalypse.
Everyone had the virus is jumping on planes and traveling the world. Holy crap. Anyway, okay, now some ramifications of it. Now, BAM is postponed.
Yes.
No
date confirmed yet, so
everything's been postponed. We got another thing postponed today. There was gaming related as well, but I'll tell you about that off air. Postponed till the end of the year. It looks like everybody's postponing until around September because they're expecting it to be
at least under control in the northern hemisphere.
They're basically saying every single person in the world is going to have this virus sometime in the next 6 to 12 months, and most in the next 6 months. Now, the ramifications for that, E3's closed. Do you reckon E3 will come back?
I don't think so.
I think it's dead now.
I think it will. What they'll do is they'll host a conference in the same way, like a TwitchCon kind of thing. Maybe that's what they'll do, is they'll partner directly with Twitch and do like a TwitchCon that is just announcements and stuff like that, and then they have their influencers and their people come through. I could see Amazon buying ESA. Like, now, the more I think about it, the more I see that being an actual thing.
I think we might find the conferences thin out after this, which is probably a good thing because there are a lot, especially in the US, there are a lot of cons. Yeah. There are a lot. They don't all have ball pits, but there are a lot of cons there that they probably need to thin out a little bit. We don't get as many in Australia. We only get like the
Comic Cons and PAX.
Supernova and stuff.
Supernova Cospendium, which is still going ahead as far as I can tell in June. So yeah.
Well, they have 40 from PAXs or something. So anyway, the other one is if you're an AFL fan, I have a rumour, but I probably can't say. Next week, let's see. But anyway, the AFL Evolution 2 comes out in April, so not long to wait, and you might be playing that before there's more footy. So you might. Anyway, I don't know what I can say.
So, well, I mean, like they're trying to push a 17-week season, so
maybe way less.
AFL
Evolution 2.
I'm surprised they haven't done the conference style yet, where it's 8v8. Do you know what I mean? Like, they play off in that and then they play off later. I think that would have always been a better way to do it, but I wouldn't be surprised if they do something similar for this season. It would be a good chance to try something different. It would be a good chance for them to say, hey, maybe if there's a draw in the grand final, we don't have to play it again. Do you know what I mean? Like, I've always hated that. Because that happened with Collingwood, St Kilda, where they got a draw, wasn't it?
I have half decent contacts in that area, and I'm hearing that there'll be a round sometime after round 1. There'll be a 6-week break.
Wow.
Yeah. So there you go. That's probably bad for me to say. Yeah. But there you go. So that's the considering.
So go to Footy Rocks now and sign up.
Sign up for my actually dreamteam.gmail.com.au. Sign up. Pick this week and then have a break. But you may be looking for AFL Evolution 2. It's probably going to be crap like the last game. No offense to them.
Last one was alright, but
they just don't put the money in. You know what? The AFL. The AFL. This should be a thing for them. If they had to put EA money in, and they have it, they have billions of dollars, right?
In cash, and not even like market cap, like actual cash.
They got Nintendo money, right? Yeah. So they not quite, but you know what I mean. If they had to put EA money into development into an AFL game,
50 mil would have done it. You know what I mean?
They could add something fantastic. I know they starved the current developer to a degree, but I just. They could have put in something. They could have had a really good game. It would have really slotted in a really good place right now. But there you go. Hindsight. Patrick Cripps is on the cover of this one.
Oh, right. Okay.
I think it was Pendlebury last year.
It was Pendlebury,
Cripps this year. Cripps a good player. look good in a Hawthorn jumper, Patrick. Go down and talk to Clarko and,
Well, for how long he's there.
and you have a chance to win a flag.
Yeah.
Every player in the AFL should play for Hawthorn at least once in their career so they can win a flag. I think so. Anyway, so that's coming out in April. So people who are missing out on the footy might want to have a look at AFL Evolution 2 or the old PlayStation version, which was
the 98. But all you do is pick Richmond, and you is it Tivendale? No, it's not. It's not Matty Knights.
We did that on the stream actually before the grand final.
Yeah, and one of the Richmond players could kick a goal consistently from 70 metres. It wasn't Tivendale. It was like
Richo.
No, that was in the era where he didn't know how to play football. He only learned how to play football in the last.
One of those years he played on the wing and he kicked 90-some goals.
Well, that's what I'm saying. When he plays wing or he plays wing, it can't just be lazy. He actually has to go earn it himself.
He should have played at the Hawks, Richo. You would have flag. We'd have 5 flags. So anyway, where we're going, I've had fun talking footy there. What do we got? That's it. I'm running out of stuff. Yeah, basically everything's on hold. Play games, stay inside, do self-isolate. Yeah, like I said, everybody's going to have this coronavirus at some point in the next.
Let's just flatten the curve as much as possible.
It's basically unstoppable. We haven't seen anything like this in our lifetimes, in my lifetime, which is longer than most people's. So yeah, stay inside, play games. You've finally got an excuse. Your parents can't tell you not to now. You're doing the right thing. So,
doing the right thing.
Well, they can go off and watch Netflix. There's some good stuff on Netflix for mum and dad.
Correct.
Anyway, and Jack. Oh dear, I won't repeat that. So I think he's referring to something else. Let's.
I think he's still referring to butter. That's fine.
Thanks for listening or watching. We'll see you next week if we're all still alive.
It'd be nice, I guess. Ish.
I forgot to mention the website, but anyway.
Sorry.
There you go. UGamePlus.tv. Bye.